Brady, he was a second day officer. You know, he was 2 days out of the academy, and we find ourselves in the middle of an active shooter under a barrage of gunfire.
First thing you hear is coming down the street, you just hear the sounds of the gunfire.
Somebody in the CP, can you tell me where it's coming from?
Plan was to set up a strike team to go in and find the guy. But as soon as we got out of the car, he focused all his fire on us. It was just all around you, just felt like it was coming from everywhere. Top, down, left, right, it just felt like it was coming from everywhere.
He looks over at me and he says, you know, where's it coming from? And he kind of pops his head up a little bit. And at that moment, he took a round.
I got shot!
All right, I got shot! Where? All right, move, we got casualty!
One of the rounds came and hit me in the back of my shoulder, went through my arm, out my bicep area, went into my chest and shot down my body.
We need to get to medical.
I knew he needed medical attention. I didn't know how bad it was. There was really no option. You know, at that time, that kid, that was my only priority. But we started moving north on the boulevard, and I started pushing him in front of me as much as I could.
As we were running down the street, the guy took his fire on the two of us running down the street still, so as we're running, he's still shooting at us.
By redirecting that fire off that crowd, we guaranteed we saved lives.
I didn't know I was hitting the chest, and he saw I was, so he knew he had to get me to medical immediately.
I gotta get you to ambulance.
At that point, it changed everything. It was a matter of minutes. My absolute focus was on Brady at that point. I mean, there was nothing else for me to do. You know, I looked across the street and I could see a couple patrol vehicles. And I started pushing Brady across the street. I took somebody's car.
I'm taking this car!
We hit the freeway and we were at UMC within minutes. But it felt like I was driving to Utah, and I couldn't allow him to lose consciousness, so I started asking him about his life, you know, his family, his girlfriends, his pets, anything I could do to get him talking.
How many girlfriends you got, bro? Only one? Her name's Jordan. She's sexy? Yeah, she is. Right on, what is Jordan like?
And I was fortunate with Brady. You know, he's a tough kid. He's one of these people that have a long career, and he's gonna do something amazing in his career, and hopefully this is the worst thing that ever happens to him. And get that out of the way at day 2, that's fantastic. I mean, he showed a lot of heart that night, a lot of heart, and you can't teach that to somebody. His parents did a great job with him. I think the hardest part about the whole thing is just the fact that it happened. And you've got to be willing to give everything to make sure that even if you don't go home, somebody else does.
Everyone coming together and jumping in and doing a part, and the way the community came together afterwards, and all the outreach and the support everyone gave the following days and weeks and months afterwards. I mean, I grew up in Vegas, and it's cool to see how such a big place can come together and be one.